what's up? Um, Today we're going to talk about creativity and passions. And Nick, I'd like you to tell us about creativity and what it means to you and what it should mean to everybody as well.
Wow. Okay. All right. Fasten your seatbelts. Um, no. So I'll give a little piece of the link between where I was and why I am where I am now. And as a marine protected area manager, I felt like the researchers were not giving us the information and the tools that we needed to effectively protect our coral reefs, which is my first love. I was like, y'all just doing research and doing your publications, but you ain't giving us anything to run with. Um, and so I was introduced to this thing called creativity. Now, right up front, ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about dance and music and drama and Picasso's and these things. We're talking about creative thinking, creative problem solving, and which is something that we all do. And so like I said, my thing is not just to turn my back on the coral reefs, but learn this creativity thing and in part take it back to the researchers and say, hey guys, try using some of these creative thinking tools in your approach to your research, to challenges, to addressing some of the problems that we have. That has not been the easiest door to kick down. But again, I'll talk some more about that yet. But as I was doing this, I realized more and more that we are actually in what is called a VUCA world. You guys heard that term, expression? It goes back to military. VUCA.
Mm.
It's a world that is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, constantly changing. We will agree with that, right? No dissension on that one.
Mhm.
And basically, something that I say oftentimes to folks is yesterday's manuals and playbooks just are no use to us today. We can't go back and say, well, this is how they did it in 64 or 74 or 84 or 94. And so we need to be creative, whether we are in accounting or law enforcement or the medical field or marine protected areas. We need to be constantly creative because the goalposts are changing more rapidly and more dramatically now than they have ever changed, perhaps in the history of man. And so this creativity tool is something that we all need, regardless of our vocation or area of specialization.
But besides that, I wanted to talk on something that that Nick said, which I could potentially have a solution or potentially have or it made me think of something else. So I work in the field of epidemiology, and there are different types of epidemiologists. There's injury, behavioral health, and there's another one called environmental epidemiologists. So when you talk about research, everybody's publishing papers, but nobody's giving solutions. That reminds me about epidemiology. We have two different branches, even within. So, for example, in my field of injury epidemiology, we have epidemiologists who do surveillance, and then we have epidemiologists who do field work, or they say field, but really it's just implementing and creating interventions. And it sounds to me like there's a lack of interventions for the coral reef. So they just have everyone doing surveillance and reporting surveillance, but then nobody is implementing or suggesting interventions. And I wonder if environmental epidemiologists could help with something like this, because it sounds like a case for them, even though they might not be marine environmentalists. I'm not sure.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely, and that is part of what this new world is all about. Precisely that. It is that we don't stay in our own silos. Like, well, I'm a marine biologist. You are an accountant or whatever. Or you're a psychologist. What can you teach me? Well, give me a chance. Who knows? And so it is breaking down those silos and moving into what we call transdisciplinary approaches to challenges. And it is precisely this that forms the backbone of group creativity, to understand that there is diversity out there, and in that diversity is the power for new discoveries, new innovations, new thoughts, new approaches, precisely for that. Because we've always approached protecting corals like this. Well, have you tried maybe the way of a vet? I'm just pulling things out of the air here. A vet treats a horse. Maybe there's something in there that you've never considered in the context of the marine environment that might actually revolutionize the way you approach coral diseases. So understand that I am a facilitator. I am not Mr. Super Guru of creativity with all the ideas, because the creative ideas come from within us. And one of the things that I love about my job is I walk into a room, I walk into a session, perhaps I know what the challenge is, but I don't have any idea what the solutions are going to look like. And when I see them emerge, it just gives me a high.
So creativity is basically your passion for the most part.
Creativity is my passion. And let me back up a little bit, because Fionn asked me basically what is creativity. And I kind of talked about what it is not. It's not art and music and dance. But to bring it down to a concise definition, creativity is novelty that is useful. Something that is new and novel and has some sort of application, can be used.
Gotcha.
Simple as that. Yes, but that's creativity is my passion. And we'll talk more about passions as well.
Definitely.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.